It's great to see you, Coach,
Seeing you,
and
John.
Raphael, great to see you too. Coach, we loved watching your program take the steps last year, and obviously you play in the college basketball crown out in Las Vegas. Now you head into this season, and we were talking about it, how excited we are to see certain guys take that next step when you've got some continuity like with this guy,
Sure.
others, and the bricks are being laid. How much do you look forward to? All right, we've been able to lay that foundation. We've been able to take this step. Now we've got the bricks in place for
Sure.
us to take off.
Yeah, I mean, I think, kind of where we started and where we are now are in, probably vastly different places. That's good. I think expectations are good. Pressure, it's not pressure, but pressure is good. It's a privilege, as people say. I think when when I came to GW, sort of, and I've told this quite a bit, but you say, hey, for 25 years, GW was towards the top of the Atlantic 10, most years, 17 out of 25 in the postseason, a lot of really good success. And we hadn't been that way for quite some time, 6-7 years. And so, trying to get it back to the point where it's not just a one-time thing, but maybe you can build that out for another 25 years, that level of success. There were going to be a lot of things that needed to happen, across the board for that to be a reality at some point. But the first thing is that first step of having a good season and being in a postseason, and now to retain the group that we were able to retain was critically important. But then also to have the flexibility to go get more and help yourself and help your team more. And that's sort of where we are, and lucky to have Raphael back and the other guys that are back into the program.
Oh, it helps when you got a 6'11" guy that averaged 14 and 9 come back to school. That's a good thing. It's positive.
They don't grow on trees. I don't as they say. Yeah.
Raphael, I want to talk to you about the season you had, because we're both Big East guys, and we saw you play at Providence, and it was hard for you to kind of crack the rotation there, and you end up at GW and put up the numbers that you put up, and you're even better in A10 play than you were throughout the rest of the season. Where did that breakout come from? Was it just playing time? Was it getting a little bit of confidence? Was it this guy right here next to you is a coaching genius somehow? I know it's not the latter, but
I'd say it was definitely a mix of both, playing
including
time,
the coaching genius, right? Yes.
A mix of all three.
All three.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah. It stems from, getting compliments from not only my teammates, but my coaches, and kind of just being thrown in the fire, adapting to different things I haven't done and just rolling with that.
For you, you look at, you're always looking as a player to maximize your potential. And I know you said last year he was the most improved player from
maybe in the country.
Maybe in the
when
country.
You think about his numbers nationally,
So
up there.
Take me through that improvement, because that doesn't, people just look at it like, oh yeah, he improved. Of course he did. It's just the next, but there's a process behind the scenes. What do you guys sort of go through?
Well, I certainly put the work in, right? That's the easiest thing to say. I mean, he's doing 2-a-days and he's in the weight room, and all the things that I think our staff has done to try to help him. And I think we've had a little bit of a track record throughout our time at GW in that world of improving players, but also, even as my time as an assistant. But I think the bigger thing is his emotional maturity, his makeup. I think the type of teammate he is. Those things I think are the separator, right? The work has to get done, the physical work, but the mental makeup, I think, is what allows him to have the type of year he had, and now be prepared to have like another great year.
When it takes a little while for you to be able to find your footing like that in college, was there a point where you were just kind of like, man, I don't want to say you forgot what it was like to get in the game and play like this, but there's a certain point where it's like, okay, I haven't done this in a while, and now you're out there and it's like, oh, I need to take 12 shots a game, 14 shots a game. Oh, you need me to get 16 a night for us to have a chance to win. Like, was it, I don't want to say weird, but did it take a while to adjust to kind of being relied on at that level again?
Honestly, I'll say no, just because,
you were ready for it.
Not only that, but it starts at practice. I took my practice reps as serious as game reps. Anytime I'm in the gym working out, I take those just as serious. So it was just a matter of applying what I already do outside the game, just getting in there and having fun at the end of the day.
So we know how this works in college basketball 2025. We can all be adults here, right? I'm sure that there were people reaching out to you after the season that you had, and you're back at GW. Why?
Plenty of reasons, but sum it up, I say for one, I couldn't find it in my character to come to a program where I finally get the opportunity I've been looking for and just up and leave on them. That's just not in my character at all. I kind of go by a saying that is loyalty over royalty, and I lived that to the fullest. So it wasn't really a hard decision. I have stability where I'm at. I love it over here, and I stayed.
Talk a little bit about
That's amazing.
Yeah, some of the pieces you got coming back. The one that I do want to talk about is Garrett Johnson.
Sure.
We know his story.
Yeah.
We know about what he dealt with the ACL last year. Where is he on his recovery?
Yeah.
Is he back playing?
Yeah,
You have a timeline for us?
full go, back playing. It's been really encouraging thus far, both on his hip issue that's doing very well, and then obviously he's fully recovered. So over a year out on the knee, and it was a devastating blow to us both in my second year when we kind of lost him mid-season, and then just a cruel way to sort of cap that off by tearing his ACL in June. And so, as I've said, and I think the numbers would speak to he would have been one of the best players in our league last year. And certainly, we won 21 games. I would like to think that, we won more games with Garrett. But, the good news is he's back healthy, and, we're managing, him the right way to make sure that we can kind of get great production out of him without overdoing it. But I think all the guys, they feel it, his shooting, his size. He generates a lot more rim attempts than people realize for a guy who shoots it as well as he does. He's big. He's 6'8".
Is he back to himself, though? Like, it's one thing to be healthy
I
and
don't know.
playing.
So what do you think, Slim? He's close.
When he says rim attempts, he means like trying to dunk on people.
Yeah. And he rebounds. So
he's back to doing that?
Yeah. He's I wouldn't say he's totally in rhythm, but I think you're seeing a lot of positive signs, and that raises this ceiling quite honestly for our team,
Well, and not only that, but when you, in this climate, when a lot of coaches are walking into a practice, first day of practice, and it's still relative to like a first week of school, a new class, where the fact that you can walk in, I'm going to ask you this in a second, I'll start with you, and Christian Jones and Trey Autry are standing there, and they know what you're going to put down on the table. Experienced guards, they mean so much in this sport. How would you sum up that duo and the way Trey Dinkins fits in with them?
Well, I think I'm really proud of the idea that, we have some homegrown guys that have had great success, right? So starts with, Garrett, even though he was at Princeton, never played there. So his experience was with us. Christian and Trey, certainly hardened by their experience freshman year. Christian with his red shirt, Trey with, sort of typical freshman year of some really good moments up and down, what have you. Both of those guys were rock solid last year, and yet we're also in a position institutionally where, hey, there's a real commitment to keeping the best players in the program and also supplementing that. And so those guys had great experiences. Raphael had great experiences. Garrett, great experience. Those guys being back speaks to that. But then to be able to get a Trey Dinkins and some others, obviously, Trey haven't done it in our league, in terms of production at a pretty high level. And obviously Duquesne had a really good conference stretch, and he's different than those guys. So, our job will be to make them all fit together. And we have 4 other transfers coming in, 2 freshmen. But I think the balance is the key, right? The idea that you have continuity while also being able to have really good players into the program.
Yeah, you got some size and you got a great backcourt. It feels like we spent this whole time talking about the big guys for obvious reasons. But Raphael, I want to ask you this: you got Trey, you got Christian, you got even Gene. I think is going to come in here and be.
He's been terrific.
A player.
Love that kid.
Like you got 4 or 5 players in that backcourt that can all be contributors, and we saw 3 of them go put up big numbers in the A-10 last year. How good have the guards been, and how excited are you as a big guy to be able to play with some of those guys?
Yeah, the guards been great. I say I practice, they've been doing their job. It's been looking real good. And I say from the offensive tip, I'll create more space in both ways. Like I get more space on the block, hopefully more one-on-one situations where I don't have to get doubled. And also on the flip side, knowing if I do get doubled, I'm confident enough in my teammates to kick it out, and know they'll drain the three.
And it's nice when you have a couple guards where you're rolling to the rim. You know, they throw it to the square, you can go get it.
Definitely.
Potentially better lob throwing ability than we had last year. Yeah.
I don't know if it's better or the message is clear. Like, just throw it there. Throw it up. Throw it up somewhere near the rim. I'll go get it.
Yeah.
The message is
'Cause
clear.
they've seen it now.
The message
They've seen
wasn't.
it now.
Yeah.
I guess the message wasn't clear enough.
I was gonna say,
that probably was on purpose too.
There was a reason for
I
that.
don't want to be too clear on that one.
For you, before we let you go, you know, I remember when you were at your previous stop before coming over to GW, and it's so great to see that not only have you found a home, but you're crushing it at that place. The loyalty aspect is awesome. Like, I just want to share with you, we cover this sport, bunch of teams. We don't hear that from players. So, Coach, I know you already know you got a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, and it's special in this time. How much do you look at it as, you know, he said, don't shy away from expectations. It's a privilege. How much does it matter to say, you know what, I want to be part of that team that got George Washington back to the NCAA tournament, that got people talking about Revolutionaries basketball again, all of that?
Yeah, that's bigger than any amount of money to me. Like, at the end of the day, I play for the front of the jersey, understanding if I do what I do my job, my teammates trust me and I trust them, the back of the jersey will shine. So that's ultimately what's important.
Yeah, I love that mindset.
There's no better advertisement for the
Yeah,
program
no
right
doubt.
there.
Yep.
Coach, it's great to see you.
How are the Guardians doing?
Well, they are they're down 2-1 in the 7th inning, but I have faith because they've had magic all year, but they got to get Scoobel out of the game because with Scoobel on the rubber, things are tough. So I'm praying.
Awesome. All right.
Great to see you, Coach.
See ya.
See you in a
Better than
couple
my
weeks.
Mets right
Hey,
now,
hey,
so-
Thank you, guys.
Chris,
Yeah.
I am happy for you, man. I
Thank
know
you.
that you've been through a lot
Yeah.
in your coaching career
Yeah.
and kind of getting to this point. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember this. It was somewhere around like 2019.
Yeah.
Someone put out a list of like, these are the
Yeah.
top 25 assistants
Yeah.
that have a
Yeah.
chance to be like the
I
next.
used to be like number one on that
Yeah,
list for like
and then-
10 years straight.
and then you sent me the list and you're like, I used to
It's
be
like
on
getting
this.
nominated for an Emmy or something.
Yeah.
It's great to see you like find a job that you can thrive.
No,
and
I am
land on your
very,
feet,
very
man.
fortunate to be at GW. You know, things work out great. We got great leadership. Our president, our athletic director, our board, our leadership is, you know, this was a place with the bones of a really good
Mhm.
job, and we just had not done the things that we needed to do to make it what it could be. And we're not there yet, but we're certainly well on our way. And when you got people like him and the other guys in the program, I think we're holding up our end of the bargain, not just on the court, but maybe just the type of people that are around. So we feel good about where we're at, and hopefully, like, this is maybe the beginning of whatever this is the beginning of a long time
Mhm.
run of being really good again.
Yep. Keep
Coach,
it going, man.
great to see
Love
you.
to see it.
See you in a couple
Awesome.
weeks.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thanks again.
Absolutely.
Raphael, good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck.
Absolutely.